Chapter 1, The Cobalt Migration by Tom Leong and Julian Phillips, June 2018. All rights reserved. My name is Barissa Corso, and I am Cobalt. If anywhere was home for her in all the vast solar system, 25-year-old Barissa Corso of the Yellowknife Valley commune on the planet Mars had a strong instinct somewhere deep within her heart that she would have somehow found that home by this time of her life. Barissa could surely claim she was what they called Cobalt to friends and family, to the Mars settlement leadership, to her Earth immigration counselor, or to the commune's alienation anxiety support group. Deep blue, dark blue, indigo. Cobalt was the word they used among them. Then, the future year being 2079 AD, the term described or defined the social status of an outcast, common to many cultures and seasons of mankind. But Barissa was in no way unwelcome or unpopular, and had many friends. Hers was a solid and positive contribution to the growing Mars commune, and her presence was very human. Very well, Barissa, the Earth immigration counselor replied. We are all Cobalt here on Mars. In the dark, ignorant to ourselves, ignorant to one another. Ignorant to the world we left behind. Are we not? In that sense, I mean. Barissa could only smile. The Yellowknife group lived together on a parcel of Martian land beneath a long, dusty-looking mountain range. The base there was home to only 23 persons, at that time. The other larger base at the Snickeridge Plateau had a population of somewhat more than 200 people. By that year, Mars had already been settled in about those numbers for more than 10 years. In what sense is that, matron? Barissa asked. The atmospheric sealed settlement homes at the Yellowknife Valley base were connected on the surface by a kilometer of transport tunnels. It was not primitive or in any technical equipment failure, at about 9 years in use, but it was smallish. A central community hub with all of their basic needs, connected those pathways, tubes or tunnels, that radiated outwards to each of 9 residences, like spokes on a wheel. Each of the homes was self-supporting with underground, surface, and rooftop power and life-sustain. 3 or 4 people could enjoy life in any of their residences, and with only 23 permanent inhabitants, then, Yellowknife was not overpopulated or stressed for resources. Claustrophobia ranked high among their numerous anxieties Barissa's support group might address. And matron, her Earth immigration counselor, was rumored to have an alcohol habit that contradicted her cool calm professional counselor, therapist, assignment. But it meant little or nothing. On Mars, at that era in planet Earth space exploration, all are free, all are equal, all are responsible to each, and each responsible to all. Mutual survival, mutual enjoyment. The Hendersons are from the Earth's moon. Mr. Skull and his wife lived 5 years in orbit at Venus, with their son, and their 2 twin girls. The Foberum family lived most of their lives on the Jupiter moon Europa, and almost the entire Carter clan, and all 4 uncles and aunts and nephews, settled here on Mars 6 years ago. So share with me your mind and thoughts, Barissa. You are part of us now. What makes you different than all the rest? Well, I was born on Pluto, for one thing. A unique experience does not make you different than all of humankind, the matron said. I am already different than all mankind. Each is different, like snowflakes. No 2 things are identical, I believe. Any human being is different than any other. So, anything making me different is not real, I believe. The room they used for counseling, in the community hub, at this station on planet Mars, was accustomed via the self-contained Mars community design. Somehow cold and lonely. Like so much of what was found as the new space exploration unfolded over many decades and even centuries, the outer planets were not nice places, just orphan worlds, dead stone globes floating gigantic. In a word, barren. Or even lethal, uninhabitable, as lifeless and unsupportive of the animal-human form as one could imagine. Known of the Martians, and reliably applied to the daily life wherein they labored, a mutual concern and survival technique, the bleak and dull routine, required of those who lived there, attention and concern. Double windows of crystal agate transparency, sealed matron and Barissa safely against the nearly airless Mars surface. Beneath the dim and silvery threads of so distant sunlight, like a shell or bubble, the room they used, Barissa and her matron counselor. Chairs, tables, food trays, water, a small fountain, a door to a hallway, digital communications, and the two women. Not much more. So you have beliefs, then, the counselor said. Most people do. The matron, also known as Qualari, to friends, herself obviously a Martian resident, was somewhat of a camp counselor. For her, Barissa Corso was beloved and cared for, including her mental state and emotional distinctions. The matron had many clients. It was her job. In appearance she may have been easily half a century of age, quite fit and attractive. On Mars they would wear long flowing robes and cotton belts, inside the houses and rooms. Outside their bases, unprotected, without the life-sustaining air suits, death would come quickly. Barissa on the other hand seemed to dress commonly in her flight suit or uniform. She was by then a relatively new arrival, only about 6 months there. Barissa was stout, a big chunk of womanhood, seeming Caucasian, Eastern, or racially absent from African, or Hispanic, not of color. She was also very attractive and sexy. On Earth, she may have been a truck driver, of her demeanor. In the space programs, she was designated to work in technology areas needing science and math skills. I only enjoy to believe anything that is true, counselor, Barissa replied. A normal birth of woman impregnated of a man, is the same as any person who ever lived, matron said. I know. I am a female. I am of full maturity. Then why are you so hostile? I am not hostile, Barissa replied. I am Cobalt. Of course not, Barissa Corso. Of course not. My name is Barissa Corso. I am a Cobalt person. So they tell me, anyway. I can accept that. But I don't know what it means, really. It means darkness, not light. Qualari raised her arm and hand, making a sign or arrangement of the palm and fingers. This action activated a row of computer screen monitors. The internal air quality at the Yellowknife settlement was slightly off somehow, for that day. Residents had been alerted to a minor glitch in the scrubber machines that cleaned the air they breathed. It was an all too familiar condition at their Tinkan world, stale air. But it made their sessions seem somehow dreary. Barissa relaxed and looked at the pixelated images. She knew instantly what they were. The computer arrays showed personal pictures, family memories, news items about the Corso family, famous memorials, video of historic events on Earth and her moon, or from inside deep space vessels, or inside military installations. Also displayed were a menu set of Barissa's documented official identity, her assignment codes, her clearances and technology approvals, and accomplishments, awards, a full resume of deeds and behaviors with the deep space programs of which they all were a part. These were the same for anyone on Mars at that time, essential. Barissa's entire life of only 25 years was there on display, to share with the matron. The computer also seemed to provide a genealogy of her family tree or ancestry, the Corso mothers and fathers back to about 130 years previous to that date, calculated by Earth years. The matron Qualari paused. Barissa lifted a sweet cold drink to her lips. Her upper lip was moist, perfectly hairless, perfectly thirsty. The internal base air quality was always an issue. Too hot, too cold, too dense, too thin. More O2, less O2. Nitrogen level is off. 23 lives on the line. Our time today, dear Barissa, is to begin the assigned task of a 9-month life review series, with you. I will be your guide and counselor. Understood. But those are my personal files with the Killer Jack teams? Please tell me. Matron looked away, her smile melted to a frozen frown. The Jack Killer teams have long ago disbanded. They are no longer in the program operations, at all. These files are from Earth, Barissa. I have never visited Earth. Deep space exploration is more stable now. What happened to you was extra special, because it had never happened before in the history of the space program. Barissa seemed astonished, as if Qualari was speaking another language. Most of the Mars base and deep space programs used English, as an Esperanto hybrid language mix, or math and sometimes music. What happened to me? She said. Do you mean that I was born? When I came out of my mommy's tummy? My natal biological birth? Birth is how we are. Everyone is born. That is not unnatural, even to the space program. Qualari had to ponder. On the wings of a dove, dear, she said. On the wings of a dove. I have never seen one. Qualari wanted to cry or weep. Here was this courageous, stunningly beautiful young woman. And she had never set foot on Earth. She had never seen a dove. She had never seen a cow or a horse, or a Manhattan sunset in New York, or a flower growing in the wild. Barissa was almost 30 years, in Earth days. Earth. Gravity and sunlight levels had never touched Barissa except as generated by electronic machines in deep space. An ocean breeze in California meant nothing. To her, it may as well have been a cartoon, to her. The computer images flashed by, on 3 monitors programmed to show Barissa's life path, service to government, training, relationships, and official duties, and also a review of her family history, showing old or newer photographic recordings, official details, a full resume of Barissa's parents. Well, I know. Someday. One reason management requested your review was because what happened to your mother and father on planet Pluto was so unique to the program. What is the other reason for this life review process? You are new here, on Mars, so management always screens applicants for permanent residence. We are rather exclusive, you might say. But you must admit, Madame Corso the Younger, dear. Aside from the disaster on Pluto, you would agree, program records show you are the firstborn daughter of planet Earth, ever in all human history, to have been birthed of a woman's womb, on any celestial object other than Earth. Matron said in a rehearsed dry drone, her voice like a wounded clarinet. No. That is not true. I'm afraid so, Barissa. That little detail concerning your life, here, or anywhere among the space program bases and missions, is why I am working your life review, here, now. With these images and computer records, as you can see. Barissa scanned the computer files and opened programs about her life, on the monitors. These are official notifications. But that is an error, Qualari Matron. I am not the first ever born on another planet. Archives show others, especially those born on spaceships or space travel vessels. Some were born from women and men, in the normal way, in orbit, or on ships. So I request those statements stricken from the record immediately. Thank you. A message was arriving on the Yellowknife Mars Commune Inter-Shelter sound system. It was only a song, played on a piano. But residents knew it signaled the midday meeting in the central hub that united all the homes. No words were even needed. Next year, we can do this. I am not authorized. Barissa seemed to wake to the music, a boozy blues piano piece, always played on the intercom for all 23 residents, to signal the noonday meeting. Matron. Please. I have never been home to Earth. I know all about it. But it is not history. Some human beings are enslaved to alien cultures from far distant worlds and universes, and they have children too. The computer brought up on a large screen a very old photograph that seemed to have originated in an old-world newspaper. This showed a midlife Asian woman, with dark, close-trimmed hair, a thin build and athletic, strong legs. In the photo, the woman is working with flowers, in Japan, Earth, year 1945 AD. The picture showed a small field, some sheds and a house, and other people moving about further away. Stop, please, archive. Hold. The computer obeyed. The search had found what she wanted, this picture. A Japanese woman, with some flowers, in year 1945. Barissa reviewed the image and text quickly. Yes. So? Her name is Malutenica. She was your ancestor, spouse to your long, long ago father, Charles. The year in this was 19th century, 1945. This was a newsprint photo taken with a celluloid camera. Charles Corso had other children and other wives as well. Well, Earth doesn't seem like such a great place, I guess, Barissa said. And you can't get there from here. At least 1,000,000 kilometers beyond, at Mother Earth, Urantia Terra bulged like a bloated blue cow, her children so many she truly knew them not. 2,290 words. JP June 11, 2018. Flimsy Windows Creative Mighty Meaningless Music 2 Fish Music Meek Kids Books.